Hey guys, I think it's morphin time. Let's go. Okay guys, welcome back again to Dave's Dimension. Welcome back again for another video. Welcome back again to the channel that is your home for tech, toys, and talk. And of course, the channel where chaos and insanity will always reign supreme. So we're back again with another unbox. Yes, I'm hooked on the Super 7s. There's just no denying it. Super 7 Ultimates, they give you so much more accessories, and yes, the accessories are deep dives, they are deep cuts of a certain episode, a certain event that occurred with those characters, those actors, those musicians, whatever brand of or whatever variation of Super 7 Ultimates you are falling down the rabbit hole of, they got you covered. I mean, in the background, you can kind of see I have Dragon Zord, I got Tommy the Green Ranger, I got Goldar, I got the Tyrannosaurus Rex. They're awesome. I actually I haven't set her up yet, but I got Rita Repulsa, and she's just amazing. I mean, the detail on the green candle, her staff with the chain, they got jewelry on her. I mean, just amazing figures. You can't go wrong with them. And by the way, guys, I am not endorsed by Super 7. I have no affiliation with them. I've just been finding these figures at some pretty good bargains, and I've fallen down the rabbit hole comparing the price value of these opposed to the Lightning Collection by Hasbro. There's no comparing. I mean, you're getting a lot more. I mean, they're remastered. Hasbro's Power Rangers Lightning Collection remastered. You're paying about $33.99 plus tax if you're no matter where you are, or if you're going to your local toy shops, your local comic book shops, you're probably paying a few dollars more. I've been scoring these between 30 to about 45 on average. Considering they come out usually retail between $55 and $65, I'm finding these at slightly lesser price point, but comparing that to what you get with Lightning Collection, there's no comparison, guys. There really isn't. So what do you say we get right on into this right now? So here we go. I'm going to pull this right out of the box. Now, I actually got him and I got Kimberly off of Entertainment Earth. It was one of those deals where the boxes are slightly damaged, but I don't care. I'm an out-of-box collector myself. So I'm going to be unboxing these. So if I can get a price point reduction because it's loose, and you can hear you got some rattling in here. Those are just some loose pieces that I'm going to pull out. So what do you say we just go ahead and unbox this right now? Okay, so here we got Red Ranger, courtesy of my wallet, from the Red Ranger offering from Super 7 Ultimates. Now, in the red is one of those colors that's kind of funky. I mean, you can see that the, let's say the torso and lower crotch region, there is a little discoloration, and not perfectly matched up, but you get that with a lot of like in clothing. Think in terms of clothing. You get black pants and black shirt. Hardly do they ever perfectly match, right? You're going to see some off tones. That's perfectly fine, but let's take a look at the helmet. They did a damn good job. That's one thing I will say about Super 7 Ultimates is the paint and sculpt is so top notch that it's not even funny. I've had it where with Lightning Collection, where like you could tell that they use like some kind of a decal or special like a sticker to kind of like do like certain lines and trims for the appearance of the helmets. But this is perfect. This is spot on. I mean, is it perfect? No, it's as perfect as we're going to get though. You can see a little lightness in the white line of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. You get the teeth on the sides, but then like right here, it gets a little thin, I'll be honest, but it's still a way better sculpt, way better execution than with Lightning Collection. Now, let's take a look at the offerings, because this isn't just Jason. We do get a Jason sculpt here. And this is a pretty good likeness if we want to like a comic book cartoon take on Austin St. John, then they really killed it. I mean, they did a great job with the hair sculpt, the paint. You know, I mean, I really think they did a pretty good job here. Now, Rocky. Oh, sorry, that was Rocky I was holding up because I'm an idiot. I don't have my glasses on right now. But we also get, here's Jason. I'm sorry. That was Rocky, Steve Cardenas. Sorry about that. I've got those mixed up. This is Jason because you can see the jawline right there. That is obviously Jason right there. But we get not just one. We have the helmet, and they actually give us sculpts that look like the actors, or they look like. I don't want to necessarily use the term caricature, but they definitely give us, a comic book or cartoon likeness to those characters. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus a little bit right there. I mean, they did a really good job here. Better than we get with Super 7. Okay? Now, the blaster. The Blade Blaster, they give us it in its gun form. And the paint apps on here, again, flawless. They give us the condensed Blade Blaster as it sits in its side holster. And then they give us the extended Blade Blaster when it's in blade form. And again, paint apps are tremendous on here. It's just amazing. They friggin' knock it out of the park. Another thing they give us is they give us the Morpher, as if Jason or Rocky are morphing into the Red Ranger. So you can have a pose where he's actually holding it, which is great. Now, one thing we've never had before. Remember when MMPR, when the Rangers were about to activate their Zords, they would pull out their power coin and they would they would hold it and then extend one hand out, and it made like this kind of like crystalline key that would activate controls of the Zord. And that's what we got here. So we had the Red Ranger's control crystal right there. I mean, and I don't know how well this is going to come off. When the camera is focusing properly, you can actually see the detail of the Tyrannosaurus Rex power coin right there. That's something cool. They didn't have to give us that because it's not like we have a cockpit that we can throw the Ranger into, but they gave us that. His sword, his weapon, his main weapon, again, the sculpt, the paint apps on here, they give us the little indentations describing on the blade. The ornamental scribings are perfect on here. And this does not feel like it's going to snap or break. This is nice and solid. They give us that. And if you notice, yes, we have the dragon shield. So you can have that scene where, he's got the dragon shield. They gave us alternate arms with the dragon shield braces on his upper biceps. So they give us those. And yes, they do give us the dragon flute. Now, a little bit of throwback. I like to do the throwback weapons from the original 90s Power Ranger figures. So we actually have a throwback sword and blade blaster right there. And of course, a whole assortment of hands. I mean, even at, I think right now, Big Bad Toy Store, and I want to say just Big Bad Toy Store has these for around $43 and change. But I'm also going to have a link in the video description below for Entertainment Earth. I'm going to throw my affiliate link for Jason Jason and Rocky the Red Ranger, Super 7 Ultimates. So if you want to save 10% off, that gets you 10% off. I can give you, anytime I do an item, I'm going to review it. And if it's available on Super 7, on Entertainment Earth, I'm going to include affiliate link that will save you 10% off as long as it's an in-store item. Now, full disclosure, this the 10% off through the affiliate link, basically that tends to offset your shipping, either shipping or it kind of offsets the taxes. So it's not much, but it definitely helps out in the long run. Let's be honest. If you're a collector, any way you can save a few bucks, I mean, come on. Who isn't down for that? But, I mean, the figure is nice and solid. You know, there's a lot of posability with these figures. Yes, you can use standard stands on here. For some of the Super 7 figures, I do like using these flight stands that I get from Amazon. So if we want to, we can throw... Whoa! We can throw Rocky's head on here. There we go. It just pops on. And again, it's a very good likeness. You get the ab crunch. You know, are these perfectly posable? No, they do have some limits here. But I will say this. I mean, one, you're not going to be playing with these to the point where you're not going to try and do tons and tons of insane posing. You might do an occasional pose, maybe a little bit of light figure photography. And like I said, we have the different fists here. Let's grab that. That looks like that's the Dragon Flute one. I'm not going to put that on them just yet. Let's see here. Let's have a quick look at the hands. Go. So we can get the sword into this hand right here. Now, if you notice, you can play around with the figures and do some posing. And let me just switch back to my other camera here. As you guys can see in the back, I actually have Tommy doing a flying kick using one of these stands right here. One of these stands. That's how I have Tommy doing a flying kick. So sometimes you have to play around with some of the joints, a little bit of the arms, so you can do some different kind of poses. You know, let's see if we can, because they kind of have a similar kind of a pose. The posability is a little touch and go here, and you don't want to necessarily break any figures. But just to show you guys, I mean, there are some different poses you can do. Because these are slightly, I mean, in all my opinion, they're definitely a higher quality. We can do a little back pose. So if you wanted to do like Goldar or a Putty kicking a ranger flying back, you could easily do like a little pose like this. Let's just switch right back real quick. So if I wanted to, I could do a pose like this where it looks like Rocky is like being kicked or flown back. And just to show you guys, like kind of like that move, we can even just bend this back. So it looks like he's flying back, like he's about to strike something. There's a lot of different stuff we can do right here, guys. There's a lot, you know? But it's the amount of detail that they give us here. The detail is where it's at. Let's just put Jason's head on there for a minute. I will admit they kind of gave like Jason kind of a goofy, like smirking smile. You know? But it's a thing you could do. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to switch him over to the gold armor so we can see how well he looks with that. Okay, so here we go. We got Jason, or Red Ranger. Although Rocky never had possession of the gold armor, the dragon armor that is. So we can just go ahead and say Jason in this case. So there we go. We got the sheath for the dragon dagger. So he can holster the dragon dagger if he wants. We have his blade blaster stowed away. And then we got the armor. We swapped out the arms. They just pop in and out. What I do recommend is removing the helmet and the arms so you can get the shield on. So you can pull the straps down, pop in the arms, pop in the head. There you go. Bob's your uncle. And the amount of detail also on the dagger itself is pretty amazing right there. So you can do all kinds of poses like he's getting ready to strike with both. They do give you the hands where you can do the playing the dragon flute. This is just really good detail. The shield itself doesn't feel too rubbery, and they really did a lot of detail. The arm braces, they don't come off. These are separate arms. There's a lot of posing you could do with here. Now, if you feel that the hands are not holding the objects strongly enough, you could always take a little hot, like a hairdryer, hit it on low to soften up the hands, and then so you can kind of pose them a little bit better. Hold them in that spot until that the heat wears off and they kind of solidify. But I mean, even the morpher on his belt they did tremendous detail on here. It's just an awesome figure. I can't stress that enough. And yes, I am going to have to play around with him so I can get the right kind of pose. But in the meantime, I'm probably going to have Red MMPR probably standing on this stand like this. Because what I like to do is, if I haven't decided how I'm going to pose him yet, because I had to check out his flexibility, this particular figure's posability, which honestly shouldn't be that different from Green Ranger Tommy, but there are going to be some subtle differences. I mean, that's just a given right there. But I mean, take a look. We get the figure, we get the Dragon Dagger, we get the 3 versions of the Blade Blaster. We have three different sets of hands if you're not counting the arms. A set of arms, 2 heads, the Morpher, the Dinozord key itself, and some retro weapons. I got this for around $40, which isn't bad, which is not bad at all. I mean, it's, sorry guys, allergies and sinuses. It's an amazing figure, and you cannot go wrong. You really can't. I mean, if you're a Power Ranger collector like I am, I mean, it's this blows Hasbro out of the way. I mean, I know a lot of people who are getting away from Hasbro, McFarlane, a lot of those companies, and they're kind of going for some of the, instead of spending, I mean, come on, they've raised the prices over the past 2 or 3 years on figures tremendously. I mean, think about it. $35 figure if you want the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Remastered for one of those. And I'm getting, sure, they give you the Morpher with that, but this is a better quality Morpher that they give us here. I mean, that is very obvious. We get 2 civilian heads, and the thing is, Hasbro has seriously been screwing up the civilian heads. The paint apps and the sculpt on the civilian heads, half of them don't even look right. I mean, like Zach's heads have not really looked like him at all. It's a tragedy to Walter Jones. I mean, even David Yost, his figures have not really looked. The only people who've been closely resembling theirs is, I think, the second version of Jason, Austin St. John. Kimberly, aka Amy Jo Johnson, kind of looks like her. And of course, Jason David Frank, Tommy Oliver, they've done his sculpts very well and accurately. It just, it shows you that if Hasbro wants, if they want to focus enough time on a sculpt, they really can execute it, but they don't. Super 7, they seem to be executing the head sculpts. I mean, here's the Rita Repulsa, right? That looks damn like Rita right there. And with her set, they actually have a Kim head, because there's that one episode and Evil Kim is Rita, they gave us that. These really do look like a comic book cartoon version, a young version of Austin St. John and Steve Cardenas. I mean, if you did a comic book version of them and you drew them as they were in the show, these are pretty spot on. They really are. So, I mean, I'm sure there's some commercial issues why they don't look 100% like them, but you know what? It's close enough for me. It's close enough for a lot of collectors. And I mean, it's a great looking figure. I mean, are you going to keep changing the poses all the time? No, you might change the poses maybe once or twice, or maybe a couple times a year if you change your setups every season like I tend to do. But I mean, look at that. I have the same kind of flight stand holding Tommy up there, and he's doing a flying kick. Now, I'm going to be redoing all my Power Ranger shelves. I might be shelving some of my... the next shelf over is a mixture of NECA, and it's also a mixture of McFarlane. But right now, me and Toddy Mac, McFarlane figures, I'm kind of on a hold with them. I haven't bought McFarlane figures in months. I'm kind of McFarlaned out because, don't get me wrong, I love Batman, but he focuses a lot on Batman. And I really don't know what direction his company is really going into. Some of the quality hasn't been as great. I get that some people are still loving his figures. His price points are still better than Hasbro, but it just, I don't know, something feels lacking. I'm feeling a bit of lacking when it comes to a lot of stuff. I mean, if you've seen my previous, I did a little stream rant about Hasbro, and I'm not a fan of a lot of stuff that they've been doing. They just dropped some G.I. Joe pre-orders they're releasing in July. They look really great, but I'm pumping the brakes on buying them. I'm going to wait to see if there's any sales, any promotions, and then I'm going to buy them. I'm one of those people, I will play the long game. I will wait and see, because some figures that, like right now, they have a rocket launcher, a heat seeker set, which is meant to pair up perfectly with the HISS tank. Now, mind you, I did not get the HISS tank. However, I do have on pre-order the G.I. Joe Vamp, which is the G.I. Joe Jeep. And I'm pretty sure, I'm going to take a wild guess that the heat seek missile launcher, which is supposed to be like a little trailer that hooks on, I got a feeling it's going to be very compatible with the Vamp. Now, I could easily do a repaint on the missiles and on the trailer itself, and if it hooks onto the Vamp, now I have my G.I. Joe version of it. I'm sure they're going to come up with something for the G.I. Joe Vamp that is going to be their own version, or maybe their own repaint of it. But it's a project that I can, if I wait and if I see that go down, because I think right now they have it for $74. If that goes down on sale, I could easily, I could have one that's going to be like a, standalone for Cobra, but then I could have another one that I can just take apart, paint to make it G.I. Joe on my own. Yeah, it's a thing I could do, It would be a fun project also for you guys to check out as well. But honestly, I do feel like some of the mobility on this figure feels a little limited, but this isn't one of those figures that's meant to be played around by little kids. Super 7 Ultimates, they're meant for collectors, which means, you're going to probably find a pose that you like for him, and you're probably going to stick with that and leave it posed like that. That's probably what you're doing for the most part. Now, as far as, do I want to keep him with the shield? I think I do, because I like how the shield looks on him. I think the shield looks great. Everything matches up, and I think this looks really great. Yeah, and plus, it would look really crazy to have him have the gold shield and Tommy have the gold shield. But I also plan on getting the White Ranger as well. So we'll have, I can recreate the scene where you get Tommy versus Tommy from that one episode, where Rita had this one wizard take a piece of Tommy's hair and create an evil green Tommy to fight White Ranger Tommy. It was a whole thing. So we'll see with that. But I'm just loving the Power Ranger Super 7s, the Ultimates. They also do have like a very bright fluorescent green Tommy, which is Tommy when his powers were fading. So I can recreate the scene with Jason and Tommy passing the powers onto Jason. So that's something we can also recreate. There's a lot you can do. The thing is, with Super 7 Ultimates, with Super 7, they are fans these are fans making merchandise, making products for the fans. Fans are making for fans. That's the way to go. You hear Hasbro say, oh, fan first. No, it's their wallet first, because they do, let's be honest, Hasbro does hella lot. Repaints, it's always Repaint City. They repaint and repaint. A lot of these, now, I'm sure that for the most part, the figure itself is mostly kind of a repaint, but they're giving us fresh head sculpts, fresh weapon sculpts. They go and they think, hey, what's that one episode? What's that one episode we can pull stuff from? you know, here's the bag I have for Rita's accessories. And I want to show you guys this. Okay. So here's the evil Kim. And yes, it's a little sadistic, but it's like, a cartoon or comic book drawing version of Kim as evil Rita, right? We get an alternate Rita showing some teeth. We get the love potion she used on Zed. We get like a space martini. And the green crystals, remember that? I mean, all these deep dives came with Rita alone, okay? You know, your casual fan might not be aware of it, but anyone who's a diehard fan, they're going to be like, oh, wait, this is what Rita used on Zed. Or, hey, wait, this is the crystal they use. I mean, they gave Rita the green candle. The green candle itself, I mean, come on now. They put so much detail on the figures. You know, the stitching and design on her dress there. I mean, Super 7, they just swing it out of the park. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it, guys. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give Jason and Rocky, I'll give them about a 9, because the limbs do feel a little bit stiff. There's not a tremendous amount of posability, but for the price point, for what I paid, the quality of the props, of the weapons, of the figure itself, that offsets that. I mean, it definitely balances out at a 9, guys. But there we are. Definitely a home run. Like I said, I'm going to have a link, an affiliate link for Entertainment Earth. So if you want to pick up this figure, go ahead and click that link, and you're going to get 10% off of that. Also, guys, I have other links in the video description below. As you know, Dave's mentioned, we do an annual stream every year called Stream for the Cure, which is a fundraiser to benefit Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Institute, which goes, I do the Ride for Roswell every year, which is a charity fundraising bike riding event. And all you do is, if you want to be a part of this, there's going to be a link so you can donate directly to Roswell Park. And if you want to be a part of Stream for the Cure, this is what you do. All you got to do is take a screenshot of your donation, send me the screenshot, your name, your first and last name, that is, and your screen name on Instagram. Go to my Instagram right at the bottom of the screen right there where it says Dave's_Dimension. Message me that information there, and I will also get a notification once you've made the donation, so I can mark you down. Now, one $10 donate, it's just a $10 minimum, okay? One $10 donation gets you in on all the prize wheels. As of right now, we have 7 prize boxes that we are giving away. We have 2 NECA TMNT boxes we are giving away. We have a Ghostbusters box. We have a Mystery B box. We have one box that's being donated by the Collector Safe Space. Great, the Collector Safe Space is doing a box as well. I have another NECA box that we're going to be doing. We have a ton of prizes to give out, and all you have to do, one $10 donation spread across, it gets you on all the wheels. Even if we add more prizes, you're going to be entered in on those. And if you want to donate more than $10, if you donate $20, every $10 you donate, that's another entry on all the wheels, guys. So there's no limit as to how much you can get on. You want to put 5 names down. Well, that's just $50. You want 5 entries? That's just $50. I mean, each of these items are well above. I mean, most of these items are, I think the lowest box right now where you have retailing for about $50 or $60 MSRP. So for the retail costs, most of these items are beginning at $50 or $60. So, I mean, these are amazing giveaways. It's open to anyone in the continental United States and Canada. So it's open to anyone there. Again, just go to the links below. You're going to see the donate to Roswell Park. Click that link, make a $10 donation, take a screen cap, send it to me at Dave's_Dimension on Instagram. Include your screen name and also your first and last name, and you'll be entered, and we take it from there, guys. But guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, let me know in the comment section below. Always put me in my place, please. And as always, guys, if you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, you can always message me at Daves_Dimension on Instagram or DavesDimension78@gmail.com. But guys, until next time, this is Dave from Dave's Dimension saying keep on busting. And you know what I'm going to say. I say it every single time. I will always catch you on that flip side. Take care, guys.